I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for at least the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is...
A massive update in Lil Durk's case was announced today. It reads, good news for OTF rapper Lil Durk. The prosecutors want to use several pages of new evidence against him, which is bad. However, this will result in his trial being delayed, making a bond release or house arrest agreement till trial very likely. But to understand his release date, it's important to understand his new charges. It's announced feds believe Lil Durk was also behind the attempted Quando Rondo in 2021 at a gas station in Georgia. In the evidence file shared in the courtroom today, it reads, surveillance footage and witness testimony related to the attempt at a Bowman, aka Quando, in Georgia, meaning they have somebody snitching against Lil Durk for going against Quando at a gas station. It also says, Durk's line raps, they're on my page like Slide for Vaughn, I know they're trolling me. In a new Lil Durk podcast, he remarked saying, for some reason, I just don't see them comments no more, where they aren't using lyrics against Lil Durk, but they are using the date of the song's release to line up with the gas station hit on Quando to add more charges. While doing so, they're also trying to get OTF DD on their side to go against Durk, but DD is trying to remove himself from the case altogether, trying to tell prosecutors, all the evidence you have on Durk doesn't relate to me.
And that's what DD did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told DD to hire. DD's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
However, the second piece of evidence comes from the OTF iMessage group chat, making it very obvious who the snitch is, but it reads, Lil Durk's facing allegation from federal prosecutors that he put hits on O Block members for not retaliating for King Von. Prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave the orders, meaning Lil Durk wanted O Block members dealt with that didn't want to go on road in Slide for Von. In the evidence file, it reads, defendant Durk Banks feuds with an O Block member named Mana Duke over Banks' belief that O Block members were not properly retaliating for Bennett's passing, aka King Von. Whack 100 would react, revealing the truth of all these snitches going against Durk.
To life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire. And the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says, y'all that Quando yet? Nothing says that.
No, you missing the point.
Okay.
They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so
that's co-conspiracy too.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of them is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other 2 was figuring out how they getting paid.
When the prosecutors were done sharing the new evidence, it was Durk's lawyers' turn, where they would then submit their applications for Durk's release. This resulted in news of words from Durk's father have Durk being released on a bond. With this being his 3rd attempt, his lawyer made an offer so great the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for at least the 3rd time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Like the video if you want Durk released from jail, because the prosecutors even drop evidence against Durk, which helps him in the long run. The news wrote, today's Lil Durk's court hearing had prosecutors telling the judge they are willingly throwing away evidence against him while reading it out loud during his court hearing in front of everyone. I wonder how this will affect the rest of his bond hearing, with the prosecutors standing up to the judge announcing they want to drop evidence in, quote, Durk's rap lyrics, told me they got an Addy go, got location go, look on the news, see your son screaming no, no, while also sharing with the judge the news report of Quando screaming no.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Mind you, them dropping the evidence is very big to Lil Durk, but the way they did it, knowing Durk submitted an application for bond, meaning the judge is already thinking about it, then telling the judge, here's the evidence we have, but we don't want to use it no more. That will be in the back of the judge's mind come the final decision, which even angered Lil Durk's lawyer. He did an interview after the court hearing calling the charges a joke, as the feds only had lyric-based evidence, but now they're not even using it.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ak. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
With so much happening at the end of the court day, the judge announced he needs a few days to decide. So before he made his final decision, the feds, they were able to get a new snitch to go against Lil Durk. This one being a high-ranking member of OTF named Vonnie. In court, his file was updated showing he's no longer even in the Bureau of Prisons, meaning that he has been released from jail, likely on a house arrest. OTF Vonnie even got his hands on a cell phone once being released. He texted somebody close to him, who then flipped on him, leaking everything. Vonnie texted this person, I'm trying to plea out on a 32, which is the base for M for hire. Max is 43 to life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for early plea, -2 points for no background, so I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. It's better than that. I can't go to trial. I might get an elbow, and I don't want them to do me like they did them other boys. When Vonnie says he doesn't want to get got like them other boys, he's referring to what happened to OTF Jam, but I'll explain that a little later. But this is where something very strange occurred. Later on this night, OTF Vonnie's own father would now snitch on his own son, revealing Vonnie played a major role in the passing of King Von, and even Durk knew about it.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door, and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, "Is it open?" Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, "Was it open?" This is what he asked him. Was it open? This was the exact words. Was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? Yeah. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he died.
This resulted in DJ Academics asking why Durk would want King Von gone. He would mention there's a police file proving that King Von was facing a court case with Lil Durk, which is true. They committed a crime together at the Varsity. However, when King Von passed, they weren't able to take the case to trial, so it ended in a private settlement, meaning there's a high chance Durk made a private deal with the feds, putting the crime on King Von because he already passed.
Why would Durk want Von?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a slack. He was signing the boys. He was a Vaughn wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Vaughn didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
This resulted in a viral tweet that read, OTF Vonnie's dad leaking that Durk had Vaughn dealt with is really making me wonder why Durk always went on IG Live when he was connected to somebody passing. He went on IG Live the minute King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck all passed. Investigators believe Durk uses IG Live as a live action alibi, meaning if the police ever ask if he had involvement in somebody passing, all he needs to do is show the IG Live proving that he wasn't there. However, OTF Vonnie's father was very upset that his son turned federal, where he would then double down on what happened to King Von. It tweeted, OTF Vonnie's father reveals Vonnie orchestrated Lil Pab and King Von's passing, which if is true, this will make Lil Durk found not guilty in his trial.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages? Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and and with me saying Vaughn, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Vaughn?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Vaughn name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Vaughn. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Ted. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
However, Vonnie isn't the only snitch. It's important to know what OTF DD's younger brother did. It even left rappers saying, please tell me this isn't real, but sadly it is. The evidence file revealing the snitching would be released today, which began with the news of the new Lil Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and OTF members have changed the case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal, raising the question of, what did Lil Ted say to the feds, who is known as OTF DD's younger brother, who is also Durk's main guy? He knows everything. Who knows what he had shared with his little brother over the years? Because Lil Ted was picked up by police at a local convenience store when he had a firearm in his jeans pocket.
Really? Dude had a. What about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Where it would then be this moment where Ted was driven to the police station, but before ever even getting inside, he had tears coming down his face, telling police, I swear I'll tell y'all about the passings, hoping not to be placed into jail, but he was already too late for him.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Being placed into the waiting cell, Lil Ted was seen crying his eyes out, wanting nothing more to just snitch on everything that he knows, just so he could be taken out of jail. But comment down below if you'd do the same.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man? We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright? We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that
With OTF Didi being his older brother, who knows the crimes that he has been told over the years, but when there was news of someone snitching with the family's last name, everyone believed that it was OTF Didi at the beginning. While everything seems negative, there was still a high chance of Durk being released from jail because of what his lawyers did today. It was announced Durk has filed a new motion to dismiss based on the vagueness of the second superseding indictment. In the alternative, if it's not dismissed, he requests a bill of particulars specifying the coded language used, the nature of the bounty, the date and time, audience, and circumstance. In the paperwork, Durk's lawyers are asking for the prosecutors to show where the evidence is. Where is the offer of the bounty that Lil Durk placed for Quando Rondo? What was the reward or music opportunity that Lil Durk offered O-Block members for the crime to be done? And what was even the date and the time? In a typical court case for M for Hire, all of this would have been shared by now, but the prosecutors, they aren't giving it up. This is making Durk's lawyers believe they don't even have the evidence, which is then when something very corrupt would occur. Only 12 hours later, it was announced Lil Durk reportedly taken into solitary confinement after a CO discovered a cell phone in his jail cell.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they're trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
Making many believe this is the feds retaliating against Durk's lawyers for exposing them and making them look bad inside of the courtroom. But after investigating further, investigators found something else. It was shared Chicago rapper Lil Durk was involved in an altercation inside a jail. This resulted in Lil Baby tweeting, "I don't care about nothing else other than Durk right now, free the bro," where the streets were able to connect what occurred. It began with the tweet of, "Lil Durk's day one homie Gleesh passed away last night in Chicago," meaning several OTF members have now been targeted, including the most recent of THF Bezu. This raises the question of who would want revenge against OTF. Fans noticed the same day that OTF members were being dealt with, Quando and Lil Tim did separate interviews, but they were both released on the same day. Many looking at it like a weird coincidence, but others believe it was a way for the feds to not investigate them for putting a hit on Durk.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like that could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
This then even resulted in Lil Tim saying,
like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f***ing me, shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Two ops of Lil Durk doing interviews on the same day, praising Durk and wishing things were handled a different way is very suspicious. But this all resulted in Lil Durk's lawyer announcing the one piece of evidence they have, which will ensure Durk gets released. Comment down below if you want Durk out. I'm gonna read them all, and leave a like if you're a fan. Here's the evidence.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is violent